Your unit may block sometimes, so a good way to check which stall's blocked is to go into the valves menu and pump some water through. I'll just show you how to do that. So from ready for visit, we hit maintenance and we go to number 3 valves, and you go through until you hit the yes button until you get to hot water and wash. So hot water and wash is number 2. So we hold the 2 button down and it will fill the bowl that's under the spout with hot water and wash. So generally I fill it right up. Then to fill the other bowl, we hit the yes button until we get to the bowls, and it's either 6 or 5, and that will move the bowls over. So number 6 moves the bowls to the left, and number 5 moves the bowls the other way. So if you press 6, it just swaps over the bowls. So you're putting the empty bowl under the outlet spout. So we hit the yes button until we get to hot water and wash again, number 2. We hold it down, and that fills that bowl up with water and wash.
So you're holding your finger on the number 2 button?
Yep.
Until it's full? Okay.
So let it go. Now we can check each stall. So we hit the yes button until we get to feeder stall pumps. So we've got feeder stall pump 1, feeder stall pump 2, feeder stall pump 3, feeder stall pump 4. So if we hit the number 1 button, pump on number 1 stall will start up, and we can see that the bowl's going down.
So that water has been
sucked through the lines.
Down to
number 1 stall.
Number 1 stall.
So if it's pumping down like that, we know that that line's clear and it's all good. So we hit the 1 button to stop the pump.
Okay.
We then do number 3 pump, which is coming off the same bowl. So hit 3 button, and that will pump on number 3 stall. And as you can see, the bowl's going down.
Of course, it's on the same bowl.
Yes, so 1 and 3 are on the left bowl, and because there's 4 stalls here, 2 and 4 are on the right bowl.
Right, of
so
course.
the bowl's going down, so we know that the line is clear and there's no blockages.
To number 3.
Yep.
So 1 and 3 are clear.
We know that 1 and 3 are clear. So
right.
we hit the number 3 button to stop that pump.
Okay.
We hit number 2 button, which will be feeder stall pump 2. And once again, we look down. And
we can see that it is
water level's going down nicely, so we know that line
over to here, number 2
here, and it's just pumping it through the pump and down through the drain,
right
through this hose here.
Okay.
So we can turn number 2 off because we know that's clear.
Right.
And we can hit number 4 button, which will be the 4th stall.
And again, we would expect the water to go from that same bowl because 2 and 4 are on the same line.
Correct. So we know that that line's clear as well.
Good.
Right, so everything's right with this unit. So we hit the number 4 button, and that stops the pump. And we just hit the back button, and it takes it back to ready for visit. Now, if you find that it's not pumping out of number 1 bowl, number 1 stall, for example, then you can just check the lines, and generally the blockage is in the T. So if we go down here, this is number 1 and 3 bowl.
Yep.
And the first thing I do is I would pull these hoses off and check to make sure there's no blockage in that T.
Right. Can you do that?
We can do that.
So it pays to have it dry hands.
It does. Yep.
So you've taken the T junction off.
Yep. And you can just have a look, or if you're really keen, you can blow through it.
Right.
So we know that it's clear.
Right.
Put them back on. Dry hands really helps.
Yep. It's good that there's no calves here, isn't it?
Yep.
A little bit easier with no pressure, no milling.
So the next thing to check is underneath there is a T.
Yep.
Which is here. So that's the line coming through there.
Yep.
And this is the line that comes from that T down to here into there, and it goes off to stalls 1 and 3.
Yep.
So same thing again, we just take the tubes off and check to make sure there's no blockage in the T.
Yes.
Generally the blockage is in the T, so we know that's all, we've checked that's fine, so we can put it back on. So if it's not there, we can then check in the stall. So if it's not pumping out of stall number 1,
Okay.
we can check the T in stall number 1, which is here. So once again, we can take the T off and just check to make sure there's no blockage in it. And if it's fine, blow through it, it's all good, so we can put it back on. So generally the blockages tend to be in the T's.
Yep.
And if it's still blocked and it's not in the T's, then it's got to be in your line between the T's and this T and back to the main unit. So you may need to blow through the lines or something like that just to make sure that they're all correct. The other thing to check is the pinch tube. There could be a blockage in here. So to do that, we just take off the retaining band, like that. We then hold in, there's a little black button on the side, we hold that in.
Okay, so your fingers around the back of it?
Yep,
Okay.
we press that button in.
Got it.
And that allows us to take the pinch tube out.
Right.
And you can take that off. And just check that that's clear, there's no blockage in it or anything like that. It's all clear, blow through it. We can just reinstall it. So put it back on there. Put it back.
So just make sure we get this. So it's going in through the pinch.
Yep, so we hold it in the pinch, hold your valve back with your finger and just press it in and make sure it's nicely seated in there. There's a little groove there you can see up on the top, so it's nicely seated in properly. Hook it back to the T. And just put the rubber retaining ring back around so it holds it in there. And we're all done.